'Tis the season for making love. Songs.
Oh, okay.
Podcast.
It sure is.
I'm Dotun Adebayo.
And I'm Carroll Thompson.
And I make love
Songs.
podcast
All right.
with the Queen of Lovers.
Thank you. And the King of Radio.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
'Tis the season for romance.
Every day's romantic for you, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
But particularly February the 14th,
In particular, yeah.
Valentine's Day.
You really pull out all the stops on that day, don't you?
And so do songwriters,
Yeah.
because they know that there's a lot of fellas out there who are going to be obliged.
Obliged. I don't like that.
Obliged.
So I don't like that word, obliged.
Obliged.
Mm.
Well, it's an obligation that when you get married, there are obligations there as well. The
Something to
marriage vows.
But Valentine's is something they look forward to. They're not obliged to do it. They look forward to that day. I mean, I know that you tick it off on your calendar.
Yes.
Waiting
Yes.
for the 14th of February.
Yeah, can't wait for it.
Can't wait for it.
So if it's not an obligation, are the marriage vows obligations then? Or perhaps those are just, you feel it, you do it as you feel, thou shalt not, what's the bit about any other woman?
Thou shalt not leave dishes in the sink.
Yeah,
Is
but
that the one?
Forget about that one.
Thou shalt not leave the toilet seat up. Is it that one?
Okay, so I'll just keep the toilet seat down. You prefer that?
Thou shalt not
You
keep
prefer-
it up. Thou shalt put it down.
But so you prefer for the toilet seat to remain down, do you?
Well, after use, obviously.
What do you mean after use? You don't lift it up before use. Anyway, that's another subject. Romance. So there are a lot of love songs to choose from.
Yeah.
And love
Fantastic.
songs are the poetry of Valentine's Day, I suppose. Because if music be the food of love...
Play on. Right on.
Right on.
Right on.
That's WRITEON. So the difficulty is, which of the millions of love songs do you choose to make love to on Valentine's?
It's very difficult. There's so many to choose from, so many beautiful songs and beautiful lyrics that are filled with romance and just positive feelings about love.
What song would you like me to sing for you? I know you don't like me to sing normally, but what song would you like me to sing for you or to make love to on Valentine's Day?
Well, one of my favourite songs is it was a Billy Joel song.
Billy Joel?
Is it Billy Joel?
Billy Joel? What, the bloke, the troubadour that plays piano at Madison Square Garden to a sellout crowd every month when COVID's not holding him back?
And sung by Barry White.
Barry White?
Yeah.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Don't go changing.
Yeah, Barry White, the king of romance and love. Is he not? Would you not say that, really? If you were to think about all the people that sort of encapsulate the love song and the singing of love songs, outside of maybe, I don't know, Sinatra or something like that, but Barry White.
He's just the way he is, isn't he?
Just the way you are.
And they do call me the Barry White of nighttime radio.
Oh, and rightly too.
And the thing about Barry White is they say what they say about you sometimes, that he's responsible for a mini baby boom.
I plead the Fifth Amendment on that.
Well, you may do, but there are a lot of children who wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Oh my goodness.
But with Barry White, just the way, the thing I don't get about Just the Way You Are, first of all, most of us knew it as a Barry White song.
That's right.
So I almost choked on my coffee when I heard it was Billy Joel, because
Absolutely.
I hadn't really been into Billy Joel at that point.
Great songwriter. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you don't discover him till you're 30-something. Whereas Barry White, from the moment you're starting to check Gyal at the age of 16 or 17, and he says, "Don't go changing."
I'm telling you, what that deep bass voice, that baritone, and
Trying to please me.
it's just such a beautiful song. And what it is I like about that song and the lyric is it is conversational. I could just say to you, Dotun, don't go changing, try to please me. You never let me down before.
That's an odd line, isn't it? To follow don't go changing, trying to please me. You never let me down.
So you've never let me down before, so you don't have to change. But if you had let me down, then you would possibly need to be changing and modifying. But because you've never let me down before, you don't need to modify or change. So that's what that means. Don't go changing, try to please me. Because you've never let me down before. I love you just as you are. So there isn't anything for you to change, and because you've never let me down. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah. Only we do change, don't we? That's part of the trajectory of life.
Well,
it's part of the human condition.
Well, maybe not changing the way changing the way
well, this is a problem.
Changing the way that you share your love.
Yeah.
Then maybe it's more about that, and more so than your personal journey as a human. It's more, the way that we love. Just don't change that, because it's beautiful as it is.
Is that what he's saying? Because I thought he was saying, don't go changing your fashion. Don't wear some new fashion. Don't change the colour of your hair. So he's talking about your physical appearance.
Well, he's saying that. He says, well, he's saying as well that I like the way you dress. I like the way you carry yourself. I like your hair. I just think you're beautiful as you are. So if you're thinking that you're not enough, I'm letting you know right now that you are exactly what I want.
It is about your physical appearance then.
Well,
if it's about you're beautiful just the way you are, it's about your physical appearance.
Well, that was the first attraction. That was part of the attraction.
See, this is what I don't get. I would have thought that. I'll tell you what I don't get. I don't get the love, the depth of love. Because remember, this is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Romance is of a higher level, and we're still talking about, oh, you look great. Why is it that women need that reassurance from a man?
You're saying you don't like women telling you look great?
No.
You don't like me telling you look great? Doesn't that not make you feel good?
But this, like a lot of songs, this starts in mid-conversation, because it's what's been said before that's important. When he says "don't go changing," it hasn't come out of the blue.
Right.
I've never heard a man, and it is a man's song, isn't it? Because, well, we're going to hear it from you later.
Yeah,
how a woman sings it.
How I would interpret it.
Clearly, from Billy Joel to Barry White, very, very male song. And you're in mid-conversation. You don't hear a man ever say to a woman, "Oh, by the way, don't go changing. I love you just the way you are, darling." No. They're about to go out on a date, to the theatre or whatever it is, and she comes up, as you have once or twice, or 2,000 times, to me and said, "What do you think about the way I look?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you look all right. Look like you looked yesterday. You look like you looked this morning. You haven't changed." That's what the song should be about. You haven't changed, girl. No need to ask me. You're laughing, but it's true. It's not "don't go changing." But so they've had a conversation before, and he's trying to pander to her now and say, "Oh, darling, look, you look wonderful. And whatever you do, don't go changing. I love you just the way you are. Whether you're going to go to the theatre absolutely naked, I love you. No need to wear anything today. People will be gawking at you as we go to the National Theatre to watch some Shakespearean play, but you haven't got a stitch on. It would be like the Emperor's new clothes. But I love you just the way you are." Now, come on.
That's taking it.
Come on now. But even you can hear that don't sound right, does it?
I don't hear it.
Doesn't sound right.
Don't go changing. Try to please me. You never let me down before. And don't imagine you're too familiar and I don't see you anymore. changing, try to please me. You never let me down before. I don't imagine you're too familiar, and I don't see you anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have got this far. No, 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 no. I'll took the good times, I'll take the bad times, I'll take you just the way you are. Well, don't go trying some new fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. You'll always have my unspoken passion, although I might seem not to care. I don't want clever conversation, I don't want to work that hard. I just want someone to talk to. I love you just the way you are. I need to know that you will always be that same old someone that I knew. So what will it take for you to believe in me the way that I believe in you? I believe in you, I believe in you. I said I love you, and that's forever. And this I promise from my heart, 'cause I could not love you any better. I love you just the way you are. 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 You are the way you are.
I would not leave you in times of trouble. I should hope not. But he has to reassure her,
Yeah,
you see.
yeah.
So this is a very needy woman we're talking about, isn't
Not
it?
necessarily. Maybe he just
Well-
feels like saying that.
He starts off saying, "Don't go changing."
Yeah. Well, maybe they
is fine.
maybe some, as you rightly said, maybe it started in the middle of something. Something has happened to make her feel that she needs this level of assurance and reassurance. So who knows what the preamble was? I don't know,
But
you know.
the crucial line, I think,
Yeah.
that takes it to a deeper level is after he says, "Don't go changing, trying to please me. You never let me down before," which is still a problematic line for me.
Okay.
But the next lines, then I start getting it. This is a deep love when he says, "I don't imagine you're too familiar,
Right, so it's true. It's a good
and
line.
I don't see you anymore."
Right.
Because, look, in relationships, after a time, you take your partner for granted.
Do you? You take me for granted.
I've taken you for granted for years.
Have you really?
Have you never taken me for granted?
No, never
You've
taken-
never woken up and thought of same old slob lying in bed next to me. You've never done that.
Never.
Come on, go. The bolt of lightning is about to strike. Anyway, in relationships, you start taking your, compared to when you first fell in love, when, you know, your partner,
in the first flush.
exactly.
Okay.
You know, your partner could, I'm not going to say what they could do, and you'd still think, oh, that was wonderful, that was the sound of music. But, you know, every aspect of your partner's life, you think, oh, that's wonderful. You know, I love the way she smiles. Oh, I love the way she gets angry.
Well, that's it, because everything's new.
I love,
right?
Well,
everything's new. So because everything is brand new, so of course it's not a natural state. It's the first state as you're discovering. And mind you, there are many things to still discover, because as you say, we're all growing as individuals. We don't stay stagnant. So you're always learning new things about yourself. I'm learning new things about you as you learn it about yourself, and I'm learning new things about myself. So then you're learning new things as well that I'm learning about myself. So there are other things to learn, new things to learn. And so saying that you take your partner for granted, I wouldn't say that's true. I just say that there's certain things that maybe that you used to notice before you don't.
That's called taking it for granted. That's exactly what taking it for granted is, because you don't notice those things anymore. You don't see. That's the whole point of that line. You know, don't think that you're too familiar to me.
Yeah.
Because when you're too familiar, you walk past a road every single day, the road becomes so familiar you don't even notice the houses anymore. How many times have you gone down a road and then suddenly seen a house that has been there the whole time, but you've never noticed it, because you walk down that road every day, you take it for granted, you don't see it anymore. Okay. And this is the important part of the lyric, not about the colour of your hair, not about the clothes or the fashions you may or may not follow.
Yeah.
This is, look, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I know that it seems like I've been ignoring you. It seems like I don't notice you. You're going around changing to catch my attention, to be attractive to me as well. Again, to catch my attraction, or whatever the phrase might be. But actually, you don't need to, because look, you're fine. It's just I'm busy doing my thing. I'm busy getting on with life. I see you every day. But isn't that part of
being comfortable with somebody and just at one with that person, where you don't have to be constantly talking about those things about that person, that you're comfortable and you've accepted each other. So don't imagine you're too familiar and I don't see you anymore. Like I don't see you as you say, notice. So I think that when you're comfortable and secure in a relationship, you're not really thinking that, I wouldn't imagine. So it really begs the question, what happened before for him to write this song?
Well, he says, although I may not seem to care.
Yeah.
That's a crucial part of the next verse, or next line. I may not seem to care. You have my unspoken passion. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just because I don't say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Yeah, so maybe something happened for her to feel insecure.
No, nothing's happened.
Well, you don't know.
Well, no, but you don't know either. All I'm saying, from what we get from the lyric, it's not necessarily that something's happened. It's just that they've become too familiar. The irony of this song is he says, don't think you're too familiar. Well, actually, the truth is
they are,
or love has become too familiar.
Yeah.
It's something that you take for granted because it's there every day of the night. So everything he's saying is in answer to her question, but it's also confirming the opposite, that actually they have become too familiar.
Right.
He has taken her for granted.
Right.
He does have passion for her that's unspoken.
Right.
Yeah, and he still says, "Don't worry about that." I might look. It might look like I ignore you. He does ignore her. It's not that it might look like he ignores her. He does ignore her.
Right.
And she has every right to sort of say, well, hang on a second. I'm trying to grab your attention here. That's why I've changed the colour of my hair. That's why. Look at this new dress that I've bought.
It's interesting because he also says, I don't want clever conversation.
I can't understand.
I don't want to try that hard.
Yeah, I don't want to work that hard.
I don't want to work that hard or whatever. Try or work.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it is, but he doesn't want clever conversation. He doesn't want to work that hard. So what he's saying is that, he's quite happy for them to just move in some kind of synchronicity without having to cry his undying love every single day. He feels that it's, he needs her to know that no matter whether there's a lot of silence or there isn't a lot of exchanging going on, that she must feel secure in his love.
Can you imagine though, somebody in love with somebody and they say, "Don't try and be too clever tonight. Just be simple. I don't want to work that hard. You're just trying to be too clever."
Well, maybe
that's
just
rude.
It's weird. That is a very strange line. I've always thought, well, so you don't want to get engaged with my mind at the moment. You just want me to be that same old someone that I've always known. So who is that? Because he does say that, just be that same old someone.
Yeah, I get that. I get that you want to be that same. Look, love's not going to stay the same. Right. But we'll come to that in a second. Just go back to the clever conversation. Well, look, conversation and the art of conversation is the food of love. It's the funny things you say. What wasn't that one of those jazz songs? What is it? The funny funny things, or
my
whatever.
Funny Valentine.
Yeah, My Funny Valentine, and all those things. What's the one that John Coltrane did? These are the things. These are the beautiful things, or simple things, or whatever it is.
So what do you think he means by that?
I haven't got a clue. I think it's outrageous. Actually, this is why this song is somewhat problematic for me. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful love song. Has a lot of sentiment, but then it goes off on a tangent, and I'm thinking, who are you speaking for? So what you're saying is, look, keep those. She might have been thinking, right, okay, to get your attention, I've changed the colour of my hair. Have you noticed the colour of my hair? It used to be blonde, but now it's green. It used to be black, but now it's orange. That's what I was saying at the
beginning, that the way the song pans out is as though she's feeling insecure, and he feels that he needs to reassure her in some way. He needs to find different ways of letting her know that she's perfect just as she is, that she really doesn't have to climb Everest. She doesn't have to learn how to wind sail. She doesn't have to learn how to do backstroke. She just,
But she has gone out of her way to learn some lines from Romeo and Juliet. And she comes home and says, "You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound." Right. And he says, "I am too sore and pierce with his shaft to soar with his light feathers. Therefore in love's heavy burden do I sink. And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
But then
is
he
love
says,
a tender thing?"
I don't need clever conversation.
That's a bit cheeky when I've gone and learned all of this Shakespeare to sparkle up, to spice up our relationship.
I don't want to have to try that hard. I don't want to engage
you have to try
intellectually.
Hard.
I just want you to sit and be the person that I remember you being 20 years ago.
Being semi-literate or whatever it was that you were.
It is a weird
uneducated.
Line,
I don't like that. That
I wonder,
pisses me off, that line.
It'd be interesting to find
actually.
out exactly what he meant by that, and whether it was
I don't want
whether
to
it's just
work that hard.
tongue in cheek. You know, it's probably just tongue in cheek. It was just,
I think this is a bit that tells you it's about somebody. Because didn't Billy Joel go out with one of those supermodels?
Yeah.
I can't remember one of those supermodels. No,
Christy,
I don't know which one.
Christy.
Yeah, whatever she was called. He goes out with a supermodel, and we all know that models are a lot brighter than they're given credit for.
Right.
If they can get somebody to pay them £10,000 a day to get out of bed, well, they're pretty pretty
smart.
bright.
Yeah.
And I just wonder whether this is actually to a particular person, so that when Barry White does it, and Barry White does it in a kind of like, baby, don't worry about it, you know, we don't need any club. You remember he does that little intro as well at the beginning, doesn't he?
Yeah, he talks. He does
what is
the
it
whole.
that he says?
Yeah,
He
I
says
can't remember, but he does. It's like a whole monologue. It is a monologue actually.
But that, I think, makes his version better, because he almost turns it. Whereas,
his version is just epic. You know, as in terms of, coming away from the lyric just for a second, and just as a piece of music and a piece of work, it's epic, Dotun. It's amazing. You know, the strings, the highs and the lows, the dramatic effects that he has in there. I mean, the whole thing is just, it's incredible. He's so talented.
With his little kind of like tongue-in-cheek intro, baby.
No, but that was his
Everybody
trademark.
knows,
That was his trademark.
No, love is wonderful. Yeah, it's his trademark.
That's his trademark.
But he also turns it into just like a romantic late night groove, whereas Billy Joel's turning it into some kind of like conversational piece with somebody. Okay, let's hear my song.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I will think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you. I will always love you.
I know what you're going to say. I Will Always Love You is not the kind of romantic song that you want to hear over a candle-lit dinner for two on Valentine's Day.
Well, it's a goodbye song, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is, yeah.
I'm a bit confused on. So
I thought you would be.
Yeah.
I thought you would be.
So please, you know, is it like?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing I'm trying to elevate love beyond the mere grubbiness of, you know, let's have sex, or, you know, you look beautiful.
Isn't grubby.
Well, no, but in terms of taking it to a higher level, you know, people might think,
smutty.
You know,
Right.
Birds do that, you know, even educated fleas do it, you know.
Let's do it. Let's fall in love, right?
Well, I was thinking, let's have sex. And, you know, my little baby brother, who's never read a book, knows one sex from the other. All he had to do was look.
Right.
You know, but if we take it to another level, if we take love to a higher level and think that love is about selflessness, love is about something, an emotion that stays with you even when things don't work out well. You know, in the Billy Joel song where he's saying, you know, I've been through good times and I've been through bad times.
Right.
You know,
I'll take the good times.
I'll take the good times.
So if I've taken the good times, I will still take the bad
times. Well, you could argue that's from Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah.
It was the best of times, the worst of times, and so on.
That's interesting.
But if you take that, in a sense, this is what the message of I Will Always Love You is, that, you know, look, things aren't always going to be perfect. Sometimes you love somebody and your love forces you to part, to go your separate ways.
Yeah.
But love is stronger than the distance between you. Love is stronger than you're having to say, look,
But
goodbye.
how is this romantic?
I'll see you
I'm confused.
Yeah,
You still haven't convinced me
I know.
how.
I'm trying to.
I know that the words "and I will always love you."
That's the bit.
All right,
that's
so
the bit
that's
you
the
should
bit.
concentrate
So
on. Yeah.
if I were to just forget about the rest of the lyrics,
Yeah.
right, in the verse and everything else, and the whole sort of slow, painful goodbye, it's the sentiment of "I will always love you." So it's the chorus, because funny enough, some people don't even know what's going on in the verses.
Totally,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And they then own the song themselves. They decide, I have decided that this song is about this. Even no matter what the writer has written, as far as I'm concerned, the song is about this. And there are many songs like that, actually, where the writer has written something completely left of centre, but Joe Public has decided to take this song to heart in a particular way and with a particular sentiment. So, okay, I get that. Okay.
Well,
I kind of understand.
Glad you got it.
That you've kind of plucked the chorus out of its context and decided this chorus is going to be a chorus of sheer love and romance.
I'm glad that you've got it, because
I got it. I'm just wondering.
Because until I heard your performance of it,
Right.
I didn't really know what the verses was about. Just like you said, and I wouldn't have chosen it if I'd really heard those verses. But I think this is about the performance. You see, it's very similar to Billy Joel and Barry White singing
Just the way
you are.
Right.
Because like I said, we didn't know it was a Billy Joel song. I mean, it's certainly not us who grew up in the black community. We always knew that as a Barry White song.
Absolutely.
And it's his performance that did it for us.
Absolutely.
So any sort of vestiges of Billy Joel had been wiped out in the way, like you say, that Barry White does in his own inimitable way of setting it up as a romantic,
epic romantic.
So it doesn't matter what he could be singing, blah 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 blah. I love
so
you just the way you
fantastic.
are is all we want to hear, really. And it's the same with this. A lot of people, I know a lot of people who swear blindly that Dolly Parton's version is much, much better than Whitney Houston's version.
Right.
I'm not going to say it's a racial thing, because it's not necessarily down those lines, but I do think that if you have a bit of soul about you, soul as in music, so if you've got a little bit of soul music in you, there is no way you would look at the Dolly Parton song.
I think if you are a country and western lover, and within that genre, it's a classic song. You know what I mean? So for them, it's the first time that some of them may have heard the song in that form. For a lot of us, we didn't even realise that Dolly had
no idea,
had performed it, written it, right? So
I had no idea.
For many of us, our first encounter with that song was Whitney Houston. And the soulfulness in which she came at it, and so then going back and listening to the sort of a simplicity or the simple way that Dolly performed it, a bit like Carroll King and Aretha with Natural Woman or something like that. When it depends on who you heard singing it first and which one of the songs kind of grabbed you emotionally to start with.
Well, it's not just that though, but it's the performance. Like if you'd listened to Dolly Parton's version, you would know that it's a sad song. If you hear the Whitney Houston version and how she tears up the refrain, you think that it's a triumphal song.
It's a song of celebration.
It's a song of power as well. The power
the way
of love.
Whitney does it.
It's celebration and power of love. And you don't care what the rest of the lyrics are. It's I will always love you, and that. And that is the sentiment you want to hear on Valentine's Day. You don't want the rest of the lyric. No. You don't want the rest of it. You don't want people to concentrate too hard on. I know it's all part of the song.
Yes.
Every bit of it is a great song. But, when it goes to, if I should stay, I would only be in your way, then you think to yourself...
I mean, what it does evoke is the greatest love, that sort of self...
That's what I'm trying to say.
That selflessness.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
It's even though we are parting, you are the love of my life.
And I will think of you every step of the way. Every step of the way on that journey as I leave you. As I get on that bus, and I will never look back again. I'll never look back on what you are and who you are and where you are and what I've lost. But I will think about you every step of the way. I'll think of the good times. Oh, the only thing I'm taking
is what?
Bittersweet memories.
Yeah.
Bittersweet memories. So you know things haven't gone well.
Yeah.
Bittersweet memories.
Is all
that's what she's taking with her. So she hasn't got any sweet memories. Yeah, no sweet memories, and even the bitter memories have a little sweetness about them.
The bitter is they're both tinged.
But there's no just solely sweet memomes that she's taking away.
It's not happy memories.
She's taking away bittersweet memories, and despite that, she will always love him. Now, how much? What more do you want on Valentine's Day than somebody saying, "Look, even though you know you've done me wrong."
Yeah, even though it's bittersweet,
you've done me wrong.
Well, as I say, it's the way that Whitney sings it. It's as though it's the love
and you feel
of her
it.
life, you know, and it's there is no greater love than the love that
But they made a mistake
at that point.
You see, it's beautiful, but I think there's a mistake in this song. Not the way Dolly sings it. Dolly wrote it. She wrote it for a reason, and she did excellently on it. Now, though, the only thing that is stopping this song from being the ultimate wedding song, is the lyrics and the verses. You know, you imagine at a wedding a man falling down on the ground saying, "I will always love you." All the guests are going to go absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
That's what they want to hear. That's what all the bridesmaids are going to be. You tell them, boy. You tell them. Show them.
The funny thing is that, you know, you only listen to the bits that you want. You know, it goes back.
Hear the bits.
You only hear. Yeah, it's true. You only hear. Excuse me, pardon. You only hear the bits that you want to hear, and you interpret and twist a song into what fits your mode of thinking or feeling, and it's so amazing that a lyric and a song is able to do that. That's why some of these songs sell millions and millions, because people like yourself take the chorus out of its context and decide that the song...
People like myself? Yes. What, you're blaming me for this?
Yeah. You're one of those that have taken it out of its natural habitat and have decided this song is now the ultimate romantic Valentine's love song.
It is. I'm just saying, look, do you not want me to fall on my knees
every day? Every day actually would be good.
But my knees ain't what they used to be.
It's true, but I love them just the way they are.
I know you do, but so just give me one day a year when I can gear up to. Anyway, whatever. Would you not like me to sort of sing that to you? Well, if not sing, because I haven't. Okay, right. Then at least say it to you.
Yeah, say.
I will always love you.
Still singing.
Is that still singing?
Yeah.
I will always love you.
Thank you. Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah.
And I'll always love you too.
Okay. But by the way...
it's bittersweet.
Yeah. I'll only be in your way if I say so. I'll go. But I know I'll think of you each step of the way. I promise you I will. And, bittersweet memories is all I'm taking with me. I'm not taking anything else. That's all I'm going to take with me. So goodbye. And don't cry.
Don't cry.
No, you don't cry.
You don't cry.
No, I won't cry. I promise you I won't cry. But I will think of you.
But I will think of you.
I'm worried about it. Don't think of me in that way, because I'm thinking of you in good ways, okay? Because we both know that I'm not what you need. We both know. You've known that for a while now. So let me go my separate ways. But like I say, I will always love you. Isn't that a beautiful way to have a Valentine's Day?
Not really. I wouldn't want those lyrics. I wouldn't want those that particular verse. I think that would really spoil the champagne.
Okay, so should we go back to Don't Go Changing then?
I think Don't Go Changing is definitely
it's our Valentine's song,
ultimate love song for
our Valentine's song this year.
Don't Go Changing.
Yeah.
Try to please me.
Yeah. I won't change the colour of my hair.
Please don't.
I definitely won't.
I don't think the
I definitely won't.
I don't think the blonde would work.
Yeah, no, it might work, but I won't do it, and I'm not going to follow
But I don't mind
any
natural
fashions.
grey. Natural grey is
Yeah.
fine. You can change it to natural grey.
And I'm going to keep all my clever conversations to myself. I was trying to elevate our romance.
But I don't want to think that hard.
You know, you are a lover, borrow Cupid's wings, and soar with them above a common bound. I am too sore and pierce with his shaft to soar with his light feathers. All those clever conversations.
Well, it's a good job that I'm not Billy Joel, isn't it? Because I actually love those clever conversations.
Do you?
I
But
really
no,
do.
no. You said that you're going for just the way I am.
Going
So
for just the way you are, and just the way you are is that you're full of clever conversation.
no, not anymore. Not anymore, because I know.
You see, I can do exactly what you do. I can just,
no, you can't.
I can actually erase the little lines, or I can use those lines the way I want
You
to.
said
I have
just the way you are.
just the way you
is
are.
our
With
Valentine
your
song.
clever conversation.
It's our Valentine song, so we've got to take it just the way it is, which excludes all the clever conversations.
For the day. After Valentine's, you can snap right back. How's that?
It's fine.